Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my group, which is group 3, will be present about Looking Glass by Charles Horton Cooley. So my group members are Lily, Ilya, Sarah, Zara, and me. So let's get started.
So I will be explaining about the Charles Horton Cooley, the founder of the Looking Glass Self. Charles was born in Ann Arbor, Michigan in August 17, 1864. His father, named Thomas, was a very successful public political figure. About his education background, at age of 16, he attended University of Michigan and graduated. He also has the background of mechanical engineering. Also, he has master's degree in political science and sociology and also received PhD in philosophy. Facts about him: he has gone through a difficult childhood as he suffered variety of illness during his childhood. Also, he dealt with the feeling of isolation and loneliness. As child, to deal with the feeling of isolation and also loneliness, he began to write and reading. Also, there are many theories that Cooley has created during his lifetime. For example, theory on transportation, and also the most popular is the Looking Glass Self, which our group will be explaining later.
Hi, my name is Zara and I am going to be talking about the Looking Glass Self theory and explain to you guys what exactly is it about. So basically, this theory of socialization, it is actually a process in which an individual would base their self-concept and also their sense of self according to how others view them. So the looking glass here is actually referred to the mirror, because when you socially interact with someone or a group of people, they would then make judgment of you, and you will then use that judgment to change yourself, to change your values, to change your beliefs, and also to change your behaviors. So yeah, this theory of Cooley's is actually considered as a very notable theory because it depicts the notion that the self is actually not built in solitude but within a social setting. And for your information, we actually have an empirical observation for this theory, which is children, because I believe that certain children grew up with certain kind of personalities because that is how their parents sees and view them, and they use that view and judgment to change themselves, and they grew up like that. Like I have a friend who is very timid, and I believe that it was because his parent sees him as a timid person, and that influenced him to keep on being that way. So to easily remember it, it would be you socialize with people, they make judgment of you, and you use that judgment to change yourself. Easy.
So, I will continue with the three key elements of looking glass. So the pioneer, which is Charles Cooley, he theorized that our view of ourselves comes not just from our direct contemplation of our personal qualities, but also from our perception on how we are being perceived by others. And he thought that this happened through three steps. The first is the imagination of our appearance to others. Like we think, how do I appear to others? Like to our families, to our friends, or even just people on the streets. Second is the imagination of their judgment to our appearance. Like what others think about my appearance, like that. Like we imagine that how how they must evaluate us based on our appearance. Like when they look at us, their first impression like when they look at us, they will like she's funny, intelligent, and so on. And the last is the development of the feeling about and respond to the judgment. It means we revise how we think about ourselves. We develop the feelings about ourselves based on our impression of their evaluations and their observation. The second step state that we think how we appear. So when we think, then the next step is we use the judgment to improve like that. So based on the three steps, Cooley believe that we are not actually being influenced by opinion of others, but instead we are being influenced by what we imagine the opinions of other people to be. So according to this theory, we might develop our self-identity is based on both correct and incorrect perceptions of how people see us. Thank you.
Talk about the example of daily life in this story. I will give one situation that what people wear is influenced that day. Example, Ali is someone cleanliness. He always wear clean clothes and he will take care of his image. Okay. Before he go out, he will think many positive words. For example, okay, today I'm very clean up, and today I very take care of my image. My image is so good, and I'm handsome, and then I think many people love with me. So when he go out, he will be very confident to speak out in front of people, and many people will accept him because he have that confidence and he is very take care of his image, so people will love it. Okay, and then when Alice wear a dirty clothes, didn't take care of his image, before he go out, he will think of many negative words such as today I'm not in pretty well. So people will run away from me and didn't want to accept me. I didn't have confidence to speak out, and I'm so afraid if I lose my friends. That kind of words, negative words, will impact his life. On that day, he didn't want to go out. He will just stay at home. Didn't want to meet the people because he is not good in image. Okay, so my conclusion for my example is what we wear every day is the first step that we know our mood on that day. If we think that, oh my god, my day is very worse today, so a long of journey of our day is worse, is not good one, it's not like good memories too. And if we wear if we wear a bright color, if we wear a color, and then we think that people will love to us. So the mood of the day is very good. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Intan. So I am going to conclude my group presentation. So to be conclude, looking glass is really important because through looking glass we will know our self identity, which is our beliefs and feelings about ourselves. Charles Horton's coolest term for the way in which a person's sense of self is derived from the perception of others. Perception of others can be known we have social contact with the society. The society include the family, friends. Self-identity is not present at birth, but through human experience. So I give you example. If a children is isolated from being socialized, they did not develop their self-identity because they have no experience of humanness. So according to symbolic interactionists, we do not know who we are until we see ourselves as we believe that others see us. We tend to behave or we shape our personal identity by our environment, by our society. So this is why looking glass can be related to the socialization. When we socialize, we can shape our personal identity.